Pai no tēnā koutou katoa, aha ko ai, aha ko nohea, e te ti e te tā ko Nathan Ngāwhika tōku ingoa, he uri tēnei o te aroa waka o Ngāi Tahu Iwi, e mihi atu nei ka koutou katoa, e whakarongo mai nei, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Yes, my name is Mason Ngāwhika, and I will be one of the course facilitators throughout the 16 weeks, and be great to meet you very, very soon. I will now pass you on to Jessica.
Kia ora koutou, ko Jessica Mesuku ingoa, Ngāti Pare, Ngāti Raukawa, Oku Iwi. Thank you for all tuning in today and registering for our upcoming accredited training, kicking off with the wānanga on the 18th and 19th. I know the team here are really excited to meet you all and to kick off this training. So just a little, we want to go through a little bit of introduction about the course today and also about some of the tools that will be assisting your learning, and also a platform for us to all share and talk and encourage each other. So Toi Tangata are specialists in the area of positive health, fitness, nutrition, particularly with Māori, but we also go all over the motu and really just deliver a lot of education around hauora, and have come into partnership with the wānanga to deliver this Popo Pakiri Tinana certificate, which is a level 4, and it's been a really awesome journey for us to collaborate with them, allowing us to put our own spin or own nutrition information in their qualification, so that you guys will come out with a legit accredited certificate, and also some insight into Māori nutrition and activity. The Toi Roa is a 16-week course. Our enrolment process starts next week at the first wānanga, and that's all handled through the Raukawa, the wānanga. But we will make sure you have forms to fill in. You need to bring along a photo ID, a passport or a birth certificate, so that we can tick all the boxes and get it all sent off so that you're all ready to go. The course is a blended approach, so we have our face-to-face wānanga, we have those in 3 blocks, about a month apart, and then you'll also be supported with some online learning, firstly through the platform Toi Piki, and then also through our website that we've created just for you guys to share content, to network together, and your assessment information will all be housed there too. There's another aspect to it, which is around reflections and logging your activity, and this might be done through an app called Nudge. We also have weekly webinars every Tuesday for the next 16 weeks, so that's why we've kind of got you all together today, to have a tutu with one of these and see how it works, how it rolls, so that you're comfortable when we kickstart the training next week. Cool, so the expectations across the 16 weeks is you will have to complete 4 500-word essays. We've tried to space these out so that your workload isn't too much all at once. There will also be a set of multi-choice questions, as well as some extra reading, research, reflections, and a few other activities that we've put in there too to add our Toi Tangata spin. If you have any questions about the course, or if you want the learning outcomes that you're going to be getting from it, or any information to send to your managers or employers, please let us know, and we are happy to forward that on to you too. There will be all the other course materials given out to you on the first day of our face-to-face wānanga. Yeah, so for now we just want to talk about some of our webinar basics. You know, obviously you've succeeded to getting to log in to join us today, so that's really great. And we've got this picture here of what the upcoming sessions might look like. Each webinar will require you to register and to be sent a link, and then to join at the time. There's yeah, there's a few functions on here that we're just getting used to as well, how to use them, you know, being able to mute and unmute people, flick over to other presenters if we've got guests coming along. We can also see who's online. We'll be able to ask you questions and also get feedback on how it's going. So if you're having any problems, please don't hesitate to ask a question and we'll get back to you as soon as we pause and realise that that's happening. Also, it is useful to have a headset or a microphone built into your computer is okay as well, but the headset helps block out any external noise when you're talking or when you're listening to us as well. Yeah, if you have any issues with your webinars, please let us know and we'll try and sort that all out next week. And we will have another chance to have a play before we send you off for the 16 weeks. So I'm just going to hand over now to Mason. He's going to discuss to you about some of the other tools that we have alongside the training, and the first one is Toi Piki. So yeah, kia ora, Mason.
Kia ora anō. So as Jess mentioned, that this training is a blended training, which means there's a mixture of face-to-face and e-learning. And the e-learning platform that we are going to use one moment, here we go. So we're using an e-learning platform which we've called Toi Piki, ko te kupu Pākehā food, fitness and fat loss. This is broken up into 4 modules, and you will be at your own time expected to complete all 4 modules over the 16 weeks. It's broken up into 4 modules. Tākina te kawa, which is an introductory or introduction to the program, and it talks about best ways to work with your client. It also uses some psychological principles such as how to motivate clients, how to use a positive approach to help to try and avoid the deficit approach to help to try and empower whānau as opposed to using feelings of emotional blackmail to encourage people to be more active or eat better food. So it's really good way of introducing our kaupapa. The second module is pūngao, energy, which basically explains the concept of energy, which can be a little bit difficult for some people to understand. And although we don't advocate the calorie counting in foods, it's really important to understand the energy contents of foods, the basic energy contents of foods, and how a lot of energy is often hidden in a lot of modern day foods and processed foods. So we'll have a quick look at that, and also the principle of energy when it comes to exercise. Thirdly, we have He Whakapakari Tinana, a really comprehensive look at all the different types of physical activity, fitness and exercise, from as low intensity as just walking, builds up to running, all the myriad of different types of exercise, cycling, sprinting, strength training, resistance training, using bands, using your environment to train, training from inside your house, in the gym, covers that whole massive range of different activities that you can do. And finally, we'll be looking at nutrition, ways for you to stick to a good food plan, eat a range of foods that give you a range of nutrients that's all really, really good for your health, and also based on your particular goals or your particular needs. So that will be over, as I said, 16 weeks. Within I'll just pick one, such as Whakapakari Tinana. These are our learning objectives. And one day, this will go to another page. Very, very slow. So as you can see, there are 21 pages. I'll just pick one at random. So when there will be bits for you to answer within a space within the page, and because you will be given your own username and password, we'll know that you have filled in those answers, which is important for you to meet your assessment criteria. For instance, this area here is just for a comment. This particular kōrero is about group training, how a lot of people, especially those that don't like physical activity, that if you put them in a group and get them to train together, and we get the whakawhanaungatanga going, and you create a sense of obligation to the group that if you do not train, you're letting others down. If I say we're going to meet you at 6:30, you don't get out of bed, well, you're kind of letting the team down. So it's about leveraging off those types of concepts to get people to sustainably adhere to a long-term physical activity. Right, I won't waffle too long, but kuya. So that is our e-learning component. Secondly, I'm going to talk to you about our website. One moment. I want to go to there. How do I do that? Yeah. Yeah. To stop it. So what you're seeing now is our Toi Tangata webpage that we've developed specifically for our wānanga, Popo Pakari Tinana, and the purpose of this website is that on the website it has all the content and material that you need. So it's got information about the course, it's got information about assessments, it's got the dates. I'll just go down the left column here. So here's all our information about assessments. Our course is broken up into 4 different modules as well. As you can see, whakatō mauri, whakaoho mauri, whakatutu mauri, and whakatau mauri. Nā reira, if you go to each one of those, all the information that you will be required to do this program will be on there. But also, if you go down here further, it's got a whole bunch of materials on course information, class calendar, which has got all the important dates, the days of the wānanga, and we'll also have other important dates for instance, assessments, when you need those assessments in by and that sort of thing. We've got a page that's been developed that has all the reading lists that you require and useful links that we've decided would be really, really helpful for this course, class photos, etc., etc. So before you actually need to ring anybody or do an email, try going to our website first, because we've tried to ensure that all that information that you need about this course will be on our website. We will send out that link to you on the day when we meet. And finally, I'll just take us to this page. We're using this, I'll go back a little bit. Everybody who does Popo Pakari Tinana in the past, and this course has been going for some time, you're expected to do a 16-week training log, recording everything, all the exercise and fitness that you do, and there's also a section on recording the nutrition that you eat. You are expected to record all that in a journal. So we've been talking, and we'd like to introduce a much more innovative way of recording this. It's next level stuff, and what we want to do is for you to use an app. The app that we have chosen is called Nudge, and for nearly a year now we have been speaking with the developers of Nudge, and they have allowed us, as I guess it's a type of practice to see how it works in a Māori community. They're allowing us to put our branding on this app. So when you see it, it'll have a co-branded app with Toi Tangata and Nudge. And what this does is allows us and allows you to record your exercise, record the types of food that you eat, record the amount of sleep that you have, and record the amount of physical activity that you do. And from that, you're given a score out of 110. And based on that, that gives you how well, or the level of your health and well-being is based on that score. So as long as you're engaging with the app, regularly updating the app, that'll give you a score. And as a nudge coach, we'll be able to monitor everyone within our cohort, within the class. We'll be able to, if you come up green, for us that means that you're doing very, very well. If you come up orange, it means you're doing okay. And if you come up red, it means you're not quite doing enough. So we'll be monitoring you guys. And it also creates a community where we can talk to one another, motivate one another, and yeah, just generally to connect with one another and know what everyone's doing and how they're doing just based on their score. So you guys are really, really lucky that you get to practice. We get to practice this on you, and if this works, it could be actually a great platform um, to use for a number of other different programs that we're currently facilitating. So that's the Nudge app. Don't worry about it. We'll sort it all out on the day. Very, very simple to do. If you do not have a smartphone, then I guess we go old school and we can always use one of our training logs on paper. So that's it from me, just talking about some of the innovations of this program. And finally, I'm just going to give you back to Jess, who's going to take the last part of our webinar. Kia ora koutou.
Kia ora, mates. Thank you for that. So what next? Well, we've got our first wānanga next week, so that's exciting. And that's at the Marae Point Chev, so totally excited to see you there. Our pōhiri will be at 9 a.m. And on the Wednesday we'll be finishing around about 5 o'clock by the time we clean and pack up and all of those things. So please do remember to bring your passport or birth certificate and a photo ID with you. That's for the enrolment process that we'll be conducting, filling in a form, sending it all off so that you're all registered and ready to go. We are having noho marae, so make sure you bring things to sleep and to stay. In terms of exercise gear, bring a couple of options. It has been cold up here. We're really well known for having lots of rain, so we will be getting out and amongst the weather and the environment, so please be prepared for that. If possible, bring a laptop or a tablet, and if you don't have one of these to bring along, that's absolutely fine. We'll be able to bring a few extra and get you all set up for your e-learning components that Mace just went through. We'll also be providing you with all of your course materials at the wānanga and anything else that you may need. We also have a couple of guest speakers coming along to the first couple of days, and particularly on the second we have Dr. Ihirangi Hike and also our colleague Dario coming to have a chat with you and take you out to do some physical activity stuff as well. If you have any questions or problems before then, can you please get in touch? You can either flick us an email, you'll see Hariata's email on the screen there, or you can give us a call at the office. Same if you're going to be running late, just get in touch and we'll make sure that everything goes to plan. Okay, so I just thought now we'd run through a couple of the frequently asked questions that we've been receiving over the last couple of weeks. I know there's probably many more, but we just thought we'd hit a few of them today. So what does the $100 go towards? What is the cost of the course? So that $100 covers all three wānanga, all your course materials, and also making sure that you're hooked up with all of the online tools as well. Do you need to be an athlete or really fit to do this course? No, definitely not. We try to tailor everything to suit anybody, any age or ability. And yeah, that's just so that when you go out to your community, you're set up, ready to go to work with a wide variety of people that are in our communities and population and whānau. So who do you contact if you're running late? So either Hariata, myself, or give the office a call, and we'll check that everything's all right. Where do you access the course materials? As I mentioned before, we'll be providing some hard copy stuff to you next week, but also through our website that you'll be sent the link to. Anything that we do for presentations or for webinars will all be housed on that website too, just as Mason explained before. How long do you have to complete Toi Piki? You have the 16 weeks, and we'll make suggestions of what parts you should be completing by when, but really everything just needs to be done by the end of the course. Who do you contact if you're struggling or need more support? Jump online, give Hariata an email. We'll also have a Facebook site and also the website for you guys to link into as well. But yeah, the earlier you get in touch with us, the more support we can give you, and hopefully everything will go according to plan, or we'll keep you on track. What assessments are there? So there's the 4 essays that I mentioned before. They're 500 words each, plus multi-choice questions, as well as a few little bits and pieces through Toi Piki, and a couple of other practical options that we've thrown in the mix too. What does the level 4 qualification mean, and what will happen after the course? So really this is just a nice platform to get you into further tertiary education, perhaps in the area of haere or further physical activity or fitness area. Maybe you'll even want to take up something down the nutrition line. It's totally up to you, but it is that foot in the door, the certificate level. And that could be through the wānanga, or it could be through another tertiary provider. Do you need to bring food to the wānanga? No, we've got that covered. We'll be doing some cooking and also have catering there as well. Can we access the marae the night before the 1 day long wānanga? At this stage, we can't offer that option, but if it is going to be an issue for you, please get in touch and we will come to some kind of arrangement. We know that accommodation in Auckland is expensive, so we would not want that to be a barrier. I talked about the exercise gear, and then also about staying in touch with your classmates. Again, we'll have the Facebook, we'll have the nudge to support each other and push each other along, and then also the website for any of those pārtai around assessments or anything like that. What happens if you have a food intolerance? Again, just let me know and we'll make sure that there's food for you to have and enjoy, and that you won't be at any type of risk. The kawa of the marae is ngāpuhi, and if you miss a wānanga, hopefully you won't. Hopefully you'll all be able to come to all 3 of those ones. They are compulsory, but you know, life does throw us some curveballs sometimes, so if we could just get in touch with one another and come to some kind of arrangement. Maybe we'll have to do a few more online sessions. Maybe we'll have a Skype date. I don't know. We'll come to something so that you don't miss out and that you keep progressing. If you need an extension, again, it's just keeping in contact with one another, making sure that that communication line is always open, and we'll take it case by case, I suppose. There isn't much time for extensions, but we want you to succeed and we want you to make the next step and get your certificate for all this hard work you've been doing. Again, with withdrawing from the course is another question we've had. If you're going to withdraw before we even begin, well then it's not so much a big deal. Bit of a shame. But if you're gone through the enrolment process and then you withdraw, we have to notify the wānanga as well. So it's a little bit trickier, but again, just get in touch and we'll try to come to some kind of arrangement so that ideally you don't have to withdraw, or that you're maybe just pause for a bit or something and can continue on with another group. Yeah, so I think those are the main ones, but if you do have any other questions, please just get in touch. Hariata will be happy to field any of your questions, as well myself and anyone else here in the team. But Yeah, I think that's pretty much us for this session.